Exotic class items just got a massive update, allowing you to attune certain perks to make them more likely to appear. Since this makes god rolls way more accessible, I decided to make a list of the best exotic class items so you know which ones to look out for and which to delete immediately. And stick around to the end of the video for a weird way to get free exotic class items. I'm Marshix and I make videos. Like the video. Quick reminder on how to get exotic class items. They are guaranteed after every clear of the Dual Destiny mission. Then, after you get your first one, they have a very low chance to drop from chests on the Pale Heart, and Xur can sell them on the weekends for strange coins. This class item turns your Titan into a hunter. Spirit of the Assassin will turn you invisible with every powered melee kill, so if you're ever in trouble, you can just punch and get out of there. And this will work with Consecration, so you can jump in, ignite everything, then get out safely. Now we're going to pair this with another perk that also buffs Consecration. Yes, you could go with Synthoceps for more damage, but I like Spirit of Contact better. This will create lightning strikes and jolt everything you hit with your melee, turning invisible and jolting things. That sounds familiar. This makes Consecration really good for ad clear, and the jolt makes it stun overload champions on top of already being able to stun unstoppable champions with ignitions. Then you can throw in a bunch of other effects like Facet of Dawn to become radiant with every punch, Facet of Blessing to heal with every punch, Facet of Bravery to give your strand weapons unraveling rounds, and Facet of Ruin to increase the size of your Consecration ignitions. All of this together makes a really strong build where you can kill everything with Consecration and not really worry about dying. And whenever you go Transcendent, this goes crazy since you can just keep spamming Consecrations over and over and nuking the battlefield. This class item is amazing for just about every damage phase. Spirit of the Eternal Warrior will give your matching weapons a 25% damage buff right after you pop your super. And this lasts for 30 seconds, which is longer than most damage phases. So if you pop your super right as you start, this will last the entire time. And this is equivalent to 4 weapon surges, so it doesn't stack with your pre-existing weapon surges, but that's actually a good thing because it frees up all of these mod slots, allowing you to run other things. You can double down on ability mods, you can run scavenger mods, you can make sure your stats are all good, and you can use yellow mods without having to worry about a timer. Now, I know you can just swap loadouts and achieve basically the same thing, but that's really annoying and 99% of people will not bother doing that, myself included. So this is just really nice to have. Now the other perk we're looking for is Spirit of the Star Eater. While your super is full, picking up Orbs of Power will overcharge your super, making it deal significantly more damage at 6 stacks. This will be a 25% buff with Twilight Arsenal, a 50% buff with Thunder Crash, and I believe a 70% buff to everything else. This is obviously good in any build, but since Eternal Warrior also wants us to pop our super, we're utilizing both of them at the same time. So you just have to pop your Twilight Arsenal going into a fight. It will deal a bunch of damage instantly and debuff the enemy. Then your void weapons get a 25% damage buff, allowing you to melt bosses. And this will stack with other buffs like Radiant and Bait and Switch, so it gets way better. Or if you're fighting a really big boss, you can use Glacial Quake to deal a billion shatter damage, and then use a stasis weapon like the new Dungeon Grenade Launcher that gets Envious Arsenal and Bait and Switch. Or you can hit a boss with Thunder Crash, then dump an entire volley of missiles with Grand Overture and absolutely nuke them. Once again, you can probably achieve better results by having multiple loadouts that you swap between constantly, but for those of us who use Deodorant, this is easy to use, really convenient, and it frees up a lot of armor mods. You can deal a lot of burst damage and spam your abilities. Warlock class items can get Spirit of the Star Eater, which once again increases the damage of your super after picking up Orbs of Power. This is especially strong when paired with Nova Bomb and Needle Storm, since those are one and done supers that deal a lot of damage instantly. Then we have Spirit of the Apotheosis to give you unlimited abilities for a few seconds after popping your super. So you can just Nova Bomb a boss, then spam grenades and melees until it runs out. This deals a surprising amount of damage, and this is before any buffs or debuffs, and it doesn't take any of your ammo. If you do manage to get this roll, just make sure you're using Facet of Dominance to make your grenades either jolt or weaken enemies depending on the grenade you choose, and Facet of Dawn so you can become radiant while you're spamming your abilities, and once you swap back to your weapon, you'll have a damage buff. This class item gives way faster abilities. Spirit of Inmost Light will make it so whenever you activate one of your abilities, the other 2 abilities will recharge faster, stacking up to 2 times. So the more abilities you have, the more abilities you can use to keep this buff going. So if you're running Arcane Needle, you have 3 melee charges, which means you can keep Inmost for a lot longer than normal. And with Spirit of the Claw, you gain a 4th melee charge, bringing your ability total up to 6. So between this class item roll and Transcendence, you can basically spam your abilities. But this isn't just for Warlocks. Titans can get Inmost Light alongside Armamentarium to get an additional grenade charge, which, when paired with your Strand Melee, also brings you up to 6 charges. And Hunters can get Inmost Light with Spirit of the Coyote for a second dodge charge. The max amount of abilities for Hunters is only 5, but remember, Gambler's Dodge gives you your melees back, so in a way, you have 7 charges to use with Inmost Light. And of course, you could also go Inmost Light with any other good perk like Star Raider or Synthoceps, but if you just want to double down on ability spam builds, getting an extra ability charge is huge. You can get fast supers that hit hard. Hunter class items can also get Spirit of the Star Raider to increase the damage of your super after picking up Ores of Power. But what sets this apart from Warlock and Titans is that this gets Spirit of Galanor. This will return super energy immediately after your super ends, up to half of it back instantly if you get enough hits. So not only do your supers hit harder, but you'll also get them back significantly faster. And whenever you throw bad juju into the mix, you can get your supers back in like 20 seconds. Now, which super do you want to run with this? Tether is alright, but it doesn't get any benefit from Star Raider. Golden Gun is good, and Star Raider makes it deal similar damage to Celestial Nighthawk. However, you'll probably still want Nighthawk since you only have to shoot 1 shot instead of 3, and you get the super back too. Silence and Squall is kinda mid, so that just leaves Storm's Edge and Silk Strike. Both of these are very similar when it comes to single target damage, but Silk Strike is definitely better when it comes to ad clear. So I like to run Silk Strike, but it mostly comes down to personal preference between these two. So just pop your super, get a bunch of hits in, get half your super back instantly, then start working towards your next super and repeat. This class item makes you hit really hard and keeps you safe in the process. Spirit of the Assassin will turn you invisible with every powered melee kill, which on Hunter is really easy to achieve with Combination Blow, since you can get a melee kill, then dodge to get your melee back, then melee to get your dodge back, and continue the loop. So you'll be invisible basically all the time. The only time you won't be invisible is whenever you're fighting a bigger target that doesn't go down in one hit. So we're gonna make them go down in one hit. So obviously we have Combination Blow to increase our melee damage, a 1-2 punch shotgun to increase our melee damage, and Spirit of the Liar to increase our melee damage. Dealing damage with a powered melee or taking melee damage will allow us to follow up with an even stronger punch. So those bigger targets will go down significantly faster, allowing you to go invisible and take down the next guy. I prefer Assassin and Liar for Combination Blow builds, but Synthoceps is another really good option for extra melee damage. The main difference being that you need to be surrounded to get the buff, but that's not hard since you're punching things anyway. Now, if you like the melee portion of this exotic, but you don't feel like you need invisibility, you could also swap out Spirit of the Assassin with Spirit of Caliban. This will make enemies explode after every powered melee kill. This makes it really good for ad clear, and since everything's already dead, it doesn't matter that you don't go invisible. And these explosions are actually ignitions, so they should benefit from Facet of Ruin to make even bigger explosions. So any combination of these perks are good, as long as you're using them in a Combination Blow build and constantly throwing hands. Now I want to quickly go over a few niche exotics that are definitely interesting, but you'll really have to build around them to make them good. The first one is Filaments plus Starfire. Filaments will give you Devour as soon as you drop your Empowering Rift, and kills with Devour will give you Grenade Energy. Then with Starfire, dealing damage inside your Empowering Rift will also give you Grenade Energy. So you can get pretty fast grenades, but you will have to play around your Rift. An interesting concept for sure, but it does limit your mobility. Necrotic plus Claw. Necrotic makes your melees apply poison, and Claw gives you an extra melee charge. It's pretty good with the Electric Slide, but let's be honest, it's no Apotheosis Star Raider. Dragon plus Coyote. Dragon will reload all your weapons each time you dodge, and Coyote will give you 2 dodge charges. So I could see this being used in very specific damage rotations, but most people will probably never use this. Severance plus Contact. This will make enemies explode and get jolted after every powered melee kill. I would think this is good, but I haven't actually gotten one, so I can't say for sure. Bear plus Armamentarium. This will improve your Unbreakable shield and give you super energy whenever you block damage. And Armamentarium will give you 2 grenade charges, allowing you to block for a lot longer. Unbreakable also just got a buff, so now it will draw aggro towards you rather than your teammates, so you can finally play a tank role in Destiny. Now, as promised, there's a way to get extra class items for free. But first, if you are enjoying this video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know which exotic class items you're grinding for. In order to get extra class items, you need to run the Dual Destiny mission with another person. You both need to be the same class, then whenever you reach the end of the mission where this bridge spawns, you need to change characters, load back into the game on the same character, then your teammate needs to do the same thing. This will make it so you can only respawn in a couple spots. Just make sure you stand still, moving around can mess this up. Next, you both need to cross the bridge, but try to touch the ground as few times as possible. and whenever you do touch the ground, only touch it for just a split second. Get into the tubes, turn around and choose peace, then you'll die and respawn. Now you need to both hop up to the left class item and do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and at the same exact time, you need to both grab the exotic. Next, one of you needs to kill yourself, and whenever you respawn, you need to cover the ground with Salvation's Grip. Your ghost can't spawn inside a stasis crystal, so whenever you kill yourself again, it will look for a new spot. Then continue killing yourself and blocking the spawn points until you eventually get teleported to the beginning of the mission. Walk back until you reach the statue room, and go all the way back to the wall. Hang out here for a few seconds to let the game catch up, then follow the path I take to go out of bounds. Essentially, we're going to swap load zones again, and this will, for some reason, bring us back to the final room, allowing us to interact with the other exotic class item. If it doesn't teleport you, just keep doing it until it eventually works. Now you need your teammate to pick you up, then it's their turn to do the trick. This time they don't need Salvation's Grip, you can just stand inside their ghost, and that will also block the spawn. Eventually they will do the same thing to swap load zones and get back here, then you can revive them and do another 3, 2, 1 countdown to grab the second exotic class item. So each mission will give you 2 class items, and the first clear every week will also give you another one, so you're bound to get a god roll after just a few runs. Hopefully. Now, if you thought these exotic combos were cool, you'll definitely want to check out this video for 16 incredible combos in Destiny 2. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.